Hello everybody, this is Lee Phillips' Journey of Truth. Today is Thursday, November the 20th. It's about 6:25 in the afternoon, and we are here at the council chambers for the Downtown Development Authority meeting. We are just a few minutes early, but we're going to sit here and be ready for when the meeting starts in just a minute. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe, hit the like button, and ring that bell so you'll be notified when I drop a video. Seems like things are getting kind of crazy again here lately, and looks like I might be having a lot of stuff dropping, so hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, and y'all enjoy the goings on down here at the council chambers. We're going to make some minor adjustments on our height.
So we're going through that, which is the biggest space and the pavement of, we're supposed to do something here.
Hello.
Hey guys, how are you? Doing good. All right, where's everybody? See this way? That's just next to Terry. See our buddy. The girls gotta stick together up here. You look like you're about to fall asleep.
3 hours wasted out there on the train.
So could you help me with that?
Yeah, not this evening,
No, I'll be late.
3.5 hours back. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes. Yeah, as soon as you find out, give me a call.
Oh, they were playing around.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Don't be playing with that gavel, that scares me.
Especially if you drop it.
Yeah, like mic drop, a gavel drop.
Oh my God, Maxie, George. Oh my God.
Is he sleeping? Or is mom and dad sleeping?
None of the above. None of the above.
He's so cute. How you doing today?
Where is the nose on this
How you doing?
I'm good, I'm sorry.
But he's so cute.
Sorry about that.
But he's have a blessed evening.
Yeah. That was a lot. I learned a lot. Whenever I get your time is no longer your time. And it's supposed to be though. I just never, I did not think about that before.
When the kids get grown and have kids, then the grandkids time is your time. And I've got 14 of them.
Oh my God, you have 14 grandkids.
We go everywhere. We just shipped all the Christmas to the fish for silver and food.
And somehow I always realized that when I had a kid, and that was like the first reason I didn't have them. It started with like simply. And then as I got older, my friends all started having them. My husband and I were wild kids. I said, "Thank God." It's like, our parents are good. Thank God to just rehab it in return. Because I have no choice. Yes, I know.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I interrupted John.
No, you're good.
But you gonna let me babysit?
Riding around on the old scooter.
Yeah. So.
Start crawling and then start, you know, and then they start mumbling words.
I know.
Before you know it, I have to eat a 2-year-old.
So, let's say somebody wants to lodge a complaint for unethical
Can you
behavior.
imagine having three?
They think,
No, I can't.
I'm gonna make something
I'm
up.
happy I don't.
They saw, let's say I'm walking in front of them, and they don't think that that's anything. They fired the mayor.
And she
The mayor decides
You
it's
got to eat in the
legitimate.
store, she
If
hands
it's
it
a
over
legitimate
there.
complaint, he then turns it over to
And I'm
the
like,
ethics
don't
committee,
leave her book.
and they decide.
What's up, friends?
Hello.
We're in the mayor.
We had.
Yeah, there was no trailer, it never came.
Never came?
Never came, so I had to drive all the way back.
Terry calls, just a minute ago, he tried calling me.
I forgot that I was
He said he's on his way, he had to go around.
It never
To get
meets,
in.
I don't think it's met.
Okay, yeah.
There he is.
I know, I saw David's message come through, and I saw you called me, David.
Yeah, I was called to let you know I was gonna be here.
They.
You said you wouldn't be here
process
until
everything
7:30.
on how
Or
people.
7.
Shoot, let's go.
Oh, yes, we not always proper English, we don't always have people wanting to serve. So sometimes they change the process. I think they should. Probably.
Enjoying life.
I don't think David is gonna make it, but, we're gonna get Terry if he.
Terry will be
Oh,
here.
Terry, got that. Yeah, he said he was gonna be a few minutes.
We don't have anybody else now.
Skip has to host the Georgia municipals.
Oh, yeah.
And all the city council has to be there too, so.
Oh my God, there's no telling.
Yeah, Danny's at Thanksgiving, but.
There's no telling what could happen without anyone here to guide us.
Yeah.
We could do some serious damage tonight.
It's been a whole one shot.
Let's do it.
I say we vote on this distributing all the money we have between Christmas bonuses for the people that are
We do.
present.
And most people that are like,
It's been a long year. We do.
girl, it's been a long, many years.
Who's here? Who's calling?
So y'all got some first Christmas stuff already bought?
I have nothing. I'm not doing Christmas.
Oh,
You're
you're
doing
good, you gotta blow it up.
Yeah,
Do
it's
that.
the first Christmas, you have to.
I think
your
he
house
doesn't
is-
know.
It doesn't matter.
We
it's
gotta have
not
pictures.
right. We got pictures.
I want to, well,
We're building a house.
well, you can, well, just do this, buy everything, take pictures and just send it back.
Amazon makes it too.
If you know it's just
So she signed.
you attack, open it, you can rewrap it and give it to them next year.
That's a good.
That's premature, but I'm just gonna eat.
That's fine.
Oh, I think it's my tree.
Did you?
I do this supposed to buy 2 years old.
It's two. I was like 4 years Thanksgiving.
I'm just like,
I was like, I literally was like in bed like Monday. I was like, oh crap, I gotta finish that.
I was the first shit. I was gonna tell you when you figured out to put on 2 times speed talking. Like it goes a lot faster, it's not 8 hours and it goes up to 2 times.
that's a good point.
Well, will we wait for Terry or should we get here?
I think if.
He said he'd be here at 7, so that's gonna be.
Not
No, he called me just a minute ago.
Terry, what's he said?
Terry.
Terry, yeah, he was on, he said he tried to call you, Terry.
Yeah, I was running around.
He had to go around the tuck road to get over here.
There he is.
Yes.
There he is.
All right, we can start the meeting now.
Oh, yeah, right. I was holding y'all up.
The man, the myth, the legend.
You didn't understand it.
Well, you know, you never know where you can find me, where you can see me leave.
I was, but
Hey, Daddy.
never showed up. So I got to run back sometime to get to the meeting.
Oh, cool.
Are y'all ready to get this meeting started?
Do
Do I really have to go?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm happy, I like what I see. And I just have so much fun.
Are y'all ready started?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna call to order the meeting at 6:33. All I have to say. And roll call, we are all here except for David, who will be here soon.
Look at that.
I don't even know the rules about coming late. Sure will, Davey's not here to get us in trouble. Okay, we have to adopt the agenda, but I need to amend the agenda and add that the city council has passed along to us their redevelopment vision synopsis for 254 Main. So, we can talk about it and see how you guys feel.
I haven't come up.
They have, they gave it to me, they printed it out and sent it to me.
Oh, because when I watched the meeting the other night, he said they were gonna, get the lawyer to write it up, IGA putting all their thoughts on it. I didn't think that was it.
No, this isn't the IGA, what this is what their vision is, but Paul has already approved this and is writing the IGA based on this. And they passed it along to us so we could, since we're planning for 2026, put into our planning what we wanna do based on this.
I would also like to just adapt agenda tonight, also just adding down, I just wanna talk about Christmas parade for 2 seconds on there at some point.
Gotcha. Christmas parade, okay. So do we have to vote on that?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to, all in favor of adopting this agenda with the 2 additions, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Don't you have to have a motion?
I was thinking of
Uh-huh.
a motion.
Motion and a second.
Someone motion. for
I will motion to adopt the agenda, adding the 2 things we just talked about, meaning 254 Main for a second and the Christmas parade.
Second.
Now you can say aye.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, so that agenda is adopted. Did you guys look at the minutes and approve them? I approve of them. Does anyone have anything they wanted to add or say about last month's minutes?
Need some speakers, Sage can't hear anything.
Oh, okay, sorry, we're trying our best. It'll be on the light if it's on. There you go, now you're on.
We'll get closer.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't remember, do we have to vote to
Yes.
approve the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor of,
One
or
second.
do we
I
have to
need a
make
motion for this.
somebody motion?
I'll motion again. Motion to adopt last meeting's minutes.
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And next is treasurer's report, but we don't have one because I haven't got here to the mailbox. I don't have a key, so I can't get the bank statements out. But I can tell you nothing's changed because we haven't spent any money on anything. So we'll jump right into old business. Facebook page usage, that's what we decided last time. Did everyone get their invites to be admins?
No.
I didn't get one. I don't.
Oh, Terry, you didn't get one because I have to add you on Facebook to do
Oh.
it. So I'm gonna add you, but I was gonna tell you before I did, you and David,
It's the
but
same one we did.
everyone else I'm friends with, so you should have gotten one, but I'll see if I can nudge
What's
you.
it called?
There's 2 of them.
Okay. DDA. No results found.
You have to accept my invitation to be able to do it, I know that.
I was telling Jay, it's the same one they used to me like a year ago. It's the same one we
It's
had
the
for
ones
a
we
while.
made a long time ago,
Yeah.
yeah, we just are gonna finally.
I should use them.
One's called Downtown Loganville. And the other one is,
I figure we can talk about that at the end. I can get Jamie on it. Make sure.
and the other one's City of Loganville DDA. So that one is for economic development and the other one is for just like happenings downtown. So we decided, that in the last meeting, we're gonna use that as opposed to a webpage. Kyle is gonna get us just a basic webpage that points everyone there, so everything we do in the future is gonna be through the Facebook page unless we decide later that's not how we wanna handle it, but, I just wanna make sure everyone's good with that, any changes we wanted to make to that plan from last time? Nothing? Okay, next morning mingle is tomorrow. Who will be at morning mingle? It starts at 8:30. Christy actually left me the key and I talked to Skip on the way here. I'm probably gonna go decorate and put the tablecloths and stuff out tonight if I can. The food will be delivered at 7:30.
What do we end up doing?
Panera. I tried Waffle House, I tried a bunch of stuff, and then I just got down to the end, so I just did that.
Okay.
I would love for some of y'all to be there with me, cause I don't wanna do all the talking.
I'm coming tomorrow with you. Do you need help tonight?
No, tonight I'm good, I have everyone in the
Okay.
studio.
I already have it online.
Yeah, so I'll get everything set up, but, is there anything specific you wanna talk about?
She's gonna be
Okay,
great.
cool, we're gonna say new job. Michael, are you gonna come?
I'm gonna get the dollars.
Okay, Terry, Jamie, you're at the shop, okay.
I'm gonna be digging the seagrass out of the shoreline.
At 8:30 a.m.?
I will be down on Lake Sinclair.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
I'll see you in the morning.
Okay,
Where are we at your place to meet at?
we can just meet at the Ag Building,
Is
yeah.
that where it is though?
Yeah, it's at that,
Yeah,
the
it's
little
the Ag
side.
Building.
I was wondering where it is.
Yeah, and she said, Christy said we can set it all up. Christy will be there too, but, I mean, we'll do all the talking. But we really need to go over what we wanna talk about, like what we have to offer as a DDA. We might wanna circle back after we do our goals, maybe we could talk about that. I did print a list, no, I didn't. Never mind. Yeah, so what do we think we should talk about in our little section? She said usually everyone mingles for a little while, eats their breakfast, and then we get up. The last one I went to, we introduced ourselves and everyone went around and said what their business did and who they were, and then I had to leave to go to work. So I don't know what happened after that, but apparently we will have to say some stuff about
And
who we are.
Do you have any idea of who the attendees are?
No, but they told me to plan for a minimum of 40. That's usually how many
Each
are
one
there.
is different, it's usually the local businesses come.
Yeah.
When we did it last year, we just got with everybody and talked about how to get in touch with us. If you've got some of those business cards, we handed a few of those out.
It's normally the same people too, the same,
That's what I was
same
thinking.
businesses, same, I haven't seen any new faces in the 2 or 3 that I've been to.
Because the goal is to attract new businesses. I don't know that audience.
I'm pretty sure it's growing because I feel like I went to one morning mingle and it was like 6 people, and then our last mingle that was huge, like it packed the room. Yeah. And when I see the pictures, I don't often get to go because I have to work, but I think it is growing. I think new people do come.
I mean, all that we did last time, because at that point Dana just kind of introduced himself as the chairman or the head of the DDA and kind of talked through. And again, it's kind of like, hey, here's what we are. We're just hosting this morning. Then we went around the room. He only talked for 1, 2, 3 minutes just on what we're doing. It's kind of like, hey, here's our direction. Here's what we're thinking. We have some big things in the store. We're working on some bigger projects and things like that. It was just kind of base, but it's like, hey, here's what we're doing as a DDA. Now let's go around and everybody just introduce themselves and how you're a part of this community. And again, it's just more for contacts and meeting people.
Right. So I got a box that matched the decor I picked for them to put their contacts into, because we wanted to like start building a database of businesses and stuff. I was thinking about having like a downtown map printed, but I don't know how many of the businesses that come are downtown or even in Loganville, because I know Monroe has a pretty good showing there. Lots of Monroe people are there. So I don't know if a map of where we work would really be beneficial.
Well, what was your
Anything?
thoughts with the map? Just that this is the area?
Yeah, like, hey, here's where we work, but then I was like thinking that takes everyone out except for really the people who are already on the DDA and maybe a couple other people.
A lot of the businesses are not in the downtown district.
Yeah. So I think that would be kind of pointless, but we could talk about like the loans that we can offer, people we can help them with and stuff like that. I don't know, keep it brief, but a way to get in touch with us and our plans for next year is really all I can think of that we would wanna share. How long do they last?
About an hour and a half normally. When I say, that's when I go, it's like 8 to 10 at the latest.
At the most, you know, 8 or 8:30 till 9:30 or so. Usually everybody makes their connections with the eating and drinking coffee and walking around. The actual talking part usually is the last one.
Okay,
Usually,
great.
And they go around the room, everybody summer talks and says who they are and what they do.
Okay, sounds good to me then. I think we're more than prepared to eat and talk.
Especially the eating part.
Yeah. All right, so we're good with morning mingle. I have the food coming. I'm gonna order the drinks after I leave here, and I have some cookies and stuff I ordered too. So we're good.
You don't need any help tonight, you sure?
Yeah, I'm just going out with it. So I mean, if you want, yeah, no, it'll be late. You know I don't sleep. All right, so
You're
on
trying to somewhere.
to new business. First, let's start with, before we get into like the deep dive, monthly meeting dates. I think that this should probably, if we can really get everything hammered out for next year, especially the 254 main stuff, be the last meeting of the year, unless you guys really wanna move. Jamie and I already talked about it yesterday a little bit, but, we don't really, we've met every month. We're thinking maybe skipping December and starting fresh on our goals in January. It's so busy, all of us have crazy schedules right now, and the holidays, and traveling, and all of that stuff, so.
Is that when all the seats
If
are?
we have to vote on it, I wanna make a motion for that, because it's gonna be.
Let's vote on it and make a motion to, well, first let's decide how we're gonna do the meetings, like what the best day of the week is starting in January, and
Stick to
what,
it.
like what time we wanted, like which week we wanna do it, because one city council person did, was afraid we may be violating some sunshine laws if we don't have an on the books date that lets everyone know, like, ongoing.
Right, we always did.
So these are
Yeah.
called meetings, but we can't keep having called
Mhm.
meetings, we have to have it like,
Mhm.
we meet at this time every month.
Well, technically, this would be a regular meeting today. Is that on the third Thursday, which is when we were meeting?
Oh, good,
Every month.
well then I won't get an
Well,
email.
that was, I think we talked one time about changing things, that we changed things for me up for a few months ago, but I thought after that, we determined this is a pretty good night. I thought. I could be-
Trouble,
That was what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, if everyone's good with third Thursday,
As we
I am
come
too.
together, we have a
Yeah.
couple
The only
things.
reason we did Mondays was because there was a formation of new people coming on,
Mhm.
and we just threw it out there, hey, why don't we just see about getting together, and next thing you know, we had a call meeting.
Yep.
And then Mondays worked for a little bit, and I think, now that everybody's, been elected and all that stuff, we can get back to just doing the regular third
Mhm.
Thursday, because that's works for me.
Okay, so we don't need to really vote to change anything then, right?
Nope.
So that means our next, I'm looking at my calendar real quick, our next meeting will be January 15th. There's 5 Thursdays in January, so January 15th, we'll go back to our regular scheduled third Thursdays. And I guess we do have to make a motion to, get our December business done in this meeting, so we don't have to have a December meeting. We don't have to make that motion? What do we do to cancel the December meeting then, since
You
it's
just
already?
said we wouldn't have one.
Okay.
You say.
Listen, I'm
Chairperson.
chairperson.
Just said
I'm
we
not,
have
ready.
one. We're just gonna have
We're
one.
not,
That's
give me
all
my
we
gavel
do.
back.
That's all we do.
No meetings in December, okay. Alright, so let's get started on the stuff that's gonna take us a while. So, did you guys bring back your goals that I printed last time that we didn't get to? We did the holiday stuff, but we didn't do the, goals. We wanna go through, or do you guys wanna talk about 254 Main first? I don't care which one.
I'm curious about 254.
Do you wanna do 254 Main first?
I had extra copies of that, sure. Is this the gold packet, right?
Yeah, maybe, I think, I don't know, I have to reprint mine too.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know, one of you guys wanna read this out loud, cause I don't want to.
I'll read it.
And this is from Skip, the city council wrote it. It was approved by Paul and the city council all agreed on it. Did you guys watch the meeting?
I did not.
That's not I watched the meeting and that's not what I got. The 3 committee members came up with that, they read it in the meeting, and then they said they voted to turn it over to attorney to come up with an IG, but it was never voted on by all the council members. The IG will have to be voted on by all the council.
We can just take it as what we're.
I don't,
I mean, we can take it and discuss it there, but it's not official.
yeah, no, I think it is official because the Walton Tribune printed this exact same thing 2 weeks ago. And
There was 3 members on the committee that met before the meeting.
Right, I watched those
That's what
meetings.
they came up with.
And then the whole council agreed to this. That's what I understand from the Walton Tribune article and from Skip today.
I didn't get that from the meeting. I watched the meeting, and I'll go back and watch it.
Did you watch the city council meeting on Thursday? Because that was on Tuesday before the work session. I was there for the work session after, so I watched that. And then on Thursday is when the council, I guess, came up with this.
Yeah, the one where that was is the one I watched. I mean, maybe I saw it wrong, but what I got from it was that they agreed, the 3 members agreed that would be what it was. They read it to the city council, and then the city council voted to approve to give it to Paul, come up with an IG. And whether that means they approved that or not, they still have to approve the IG.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is just for us to know what we want to do going forward, but this is what their vision is going to be, and it's been to Paul and back now. And Paul said this is fine to pass to us.
Okay.
That's what Skip told me. He hand delivered it, and that's what he told me though, so it's not right, so I can't recheck what he said, so.
What does it say?
Go ahead, Jamie.
Here we go. Yeah, let's see what this says.
We're ready.
All right, this is, the header is 254 Main Street Redevelopment Vision Synopsis. The City of Loganville's primary objective in the redevelopment of 254 Main Street is to achieve a thoughtfully designed infill redevelopment project on the property that injects excitement into our downtown core and promotes prosperity for generations to come at 254 Main Street. We envision a site plan and a building design that is cohesive, incorporates the quality building materials, and reflects the small town feel of the surrounding downtown district. Ultimately, we aspire to create a development that feels timeless, seamlessly integrates with the surrounding area, and that stands the test of time. The City Council and the Downtown Development Authority of the City of Loganville are supportive of increasing the number of Main Street business fronts on the Main Street frontage of the lot, and are particularly enthusiastic about the prospect of adding restaurant space with outdoor seating to our downtown core. The city also wants to prioritize public parking accessibility for those visiting Main Street. While housing components are not currently a priority, the council is open to innovative designs that enhance the viability of Main Street businesses throughout the corporation of lofts, business spaces above retail, or detached housing such as larger homes with ADU components or cottage homes consistent with the style of other historic residential properties in this area. Preserving some of the old town pecan trees with a slight plan is an additional benefit for the community that the city wishes to accomplish if feasible. The city welcomes the design proposal for the lot at 254 Main Street and is receptive to incorporating the lot at 4436 Pecan Street into the project as well, if the overall vision and plan meets with the long-term goals and vision of the revitalization of the downtown core of the city of Loganville. That's just very, very general. It don't seem like there was much information in this at all, other than, hey.
That's what I said when I heard it.
I think that's by design.
So,
What
yes.
is the lot that is 443 Pecan?
It's the one behind. So in the last meeting we did, or in the meeting before the last one, we did say we only wanted to focus on that first piece of property.
Well, this is even better news, to have
Yeah.
two lights to work.
Because, so Melanie, Ann, and Brandon are the Economic Development Committee. And Melanie was pretty adamant that she would prefer it all, that we just focus on the one. Ann and Brandon were like, just take it all and do it. And So what they came up with in the meeting was a compromise of, we can go ahead and start with just 254 Main. If we can do that, see what we can do. But if a developer comes along and says, no, I don't want just that, I want all of the rest of it, then they're leaving it open for us to do that if we have a good plan. Now, no matter what we do, has to go back before council anyway, so they can stop anything they don't like. There's a problem, not a problem, but a question about the parking lot, whether a developer will buy the property without the parking lot, because they want to leave that parking lot open for all Main Street parking, not just who gets 254. So you know how 254 is here, there's a parking lot, and then the rest of the property.
That parking lot is part of 254.
Right, but they do not want the restaurant or whatever is built there to have exclusivity to the parking lot. They still want that to be,
I get it, but.
and they did say, like, that was Melanie's main point, and Brandon said, you do understand, and the city will retain that, we will have to pay to keep up with it, pay to take care of it, and stuff like that. So Anne was more like middle ground, like she didn't really have a decision, and Brandon thought that someone would probably want the parking lot too, from what I got from it. So we just need to keep that in mind. Again, if someone comes and says, I have to have the parking lot, we can put it in front of city council and they can vote on it, and we can give them the parking lot, or we can, as our board, say, yeah, we're not interested in giving you our downtown parking, we're trying to revitalize, we want people to be able to park there. I don't really have an opinion on parking, so you guys.
Parking is so scarce, I don't see how one business could have, full rights to the whole.
Right.
But if we put that whole lot up for sale, whoever buys it has the rights to that parking lot, unless we take that parking lot out of the parcel and make two separate parcels out of it.
Or unless there's an
That's
easement
the only
that
way
gives.
you can guarantee.
Well, through an easement you could, I would think, wouldn't you be able to
Yeah,
have
you
an
can do
easement?
You'll have to have two separate lots.
Well, the thing about being presented, the possibility of using both lots makes it more attractive to a developer to come in, which would necessitate the use of the parking lot for both properties. So I think in a way, this has been a gift more so in putting a step forward as to what the DDA is about, by having actually two properties instead of one. If you only throw 254 out there blind, then nobody knows about, what is it, 440 what?
443.
443, a potential buyer wouldn't know anything about it. But if you threw it all out, if we packaged it in a way along with this vision here, then we'd have a whole corner and back that could be possibly developed, which is something the town's looking forward to. And both of those properties would demand a parking space. They'd have to have it. You couldn't just get away with not, because where people park. So I think this is a win for us.
Yeah,
for the council.
I think so too, because we can find someone to just do the front if someone wants to do that, but if someone with a really innovative idea that will only bring that if they want all of it,
Yeah.
or even if they know someone who they would want to partner with adjacently to develop the other. So I think it is good. Now, they did leave it intentionally vague, because they said they don't really know exactly what the right answer is. So they are kind of on board with leaving it open to the developer to bring us the good ideas, including price. And obviously we all know the reason we would be the ones to sell it is because we can agree to a low price. And in the meeting, they even said, well, Melanie said this, but Brandon and Ann were sort of on board, maybe not for the $1, but like, we'll sell it to you for $1 if you come up with a great plan, because that's what we need now. As a DDA, we don't want to do that because we don't get our 10%.
Just remember, we sell it for $1, we get 10%.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So they did agree in the meeting that at the city council meeting. Was that the council meeting that they agreed on the 10%? It was in the economic. So whatever we sell it for, we get to retain 10% of, which is just industry
They haven't
standard.
said what percent, but I know.
Yeah, they said.
Typically, it's been 10%.
No, they agreed on 10%. They went back and forth from 6 to 8, back to 6,
That
then
must
to
have been in
10.
that meeting, because I didn't watch that one, but I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, they agreed. 10% is what the IGA is going to say goes to us.
The one thing I would say, there's no point to harp right now on the parking problem or situation, because I don't think, you're just gonna sell it as the lot. And I think, again, if the developer builds a lot there and they're super picky about their parking there, sure, but I mean, same thing with me, Jamie, people park at Jamie's, gonna me, people park at me, go to Jamie's, people park in the back, like, we all share parking anyway, like.
Yeah, they just,
It's not,
well,
I don't think
yeah.
that's as important as we're making it,
No.
except on 3 days a year.
And as to the design aspects
Yeah.
of it, Ford kind of sort of expressed the design, as long as it complements the surrounding area. Well, we've already got existing designs that a developer, all he's gotta do is look down the street and say, okay, I wanna match the new library. You know,
Right.
would it be timeless? Well, yeah, because the library's timeless. So you're talking about designs that would match, and that might frill it up a little bit or make it look a little old time, but it's not. That statement there pretty much says that. So there's already some guidelines there. It's just a matter of how that developer wants to present that to us or.
And I think as long as the developer is open to allowing other people to park, I don't think that will be an issue. It was an issue to them. The parking was a good 10-minute conversation about taking the
Well,
parking lot.
I think what we dictated,
Well, that was the point
Brandon's
when
place
it
is next door.
was that one, Brandon was not the one who was worried about the parking at all. He was the one who was almost arguing against parking, like, do you want the city will have to put their funds towards, taking care of this parking lot if the city retains.
We all
the
talk
parking
about
lot.
that, we all agree, I mean, the whole parking situation, until there's enough businesses that we're literally filling, that back parking lot behind our buildings is empty 90% of the time. So until we're to the point where we're like, holy cow, people are like complaining and sending you an email every week about parking, there's no reason to really address it at that point. We will address it when the time comes. Because again, even the dang health department has, I think, 100
Yeah.
spaces.
Mhm.
We have plenty of parking.
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
no other city you go to anywhere, even, like, I travel a lot, you walk, you park and walk, you can't just park right next door to where you're going.
We have
anywhere.
plenty of parking at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Besides, like I said,
Yeah.
besides 4 times a year.
City
For
Hall,
local, yeah.
behind your guys' buildings, the health department.
Yeah.
Libraries.
Well, the library's what, 30 some odd spaces, it's not a lot, but it's a couple of extra.
Well, yeah,
So that's for us to know, basically, that might be something we got pushback from with whatever idea. So how it's gonna work is Paul's gonna draft the IGA. City council's gonna approve the IGA, they'll give it to us, and then we will have to put out an RFP in some way. Obviously, the next meeting we have, we'll invite Paul to it, and, I guess by the next meeting, Brandon will be mayor, right? So he'll have to come.
that was my question is it like the United States government where people transition in February, or is it January 1st transition happens? I didn't know.
January
Yes,
1st.
okay, so yes, he will be.
But we have to appoint the liaison, and I don't
Yes.
know.
We don't want
We
to,
never-
it's on the city
No, wait.
council does.
City council did, yeah.
Oh, did they? I thought it was us.
No, she's.
No, the city council appoints
That's
the
right.
liaison.
Okay, so
That's
city
set up all
council
the
has
Might not
to,
be.
yeah, city council has to appoint the new liaison. So whoever's here in January's meeting, Danny and Paul will be here, that person will be here, so, we can discuss any other, like, legal.
Well, I don't think we'll have the IGA before about February.
Oh, gosh, no.
Paul's already said it's a 90-day deal.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, I think
So-
February's probably.
And so even putting it on an agenda without the IGA is really not gonna do us
So
any
in March, will we do it?
March be through 5 months almost. You're still halfway through November.
Remember, they don't even have 2 workshops, that's 2 sessions next month. They just combined it to one, and I don't think there's a big.
I don't know why I was under the impression that they wanted the IGA to be done by January. They told
That
me.
you thought that they did want it done?
Yeah.
They were telling me that. At first I was the one who was like, hey, let's do this, and they were slowing down. But then after that meeting, like I said, they delivered that to me. They said Paul's already proved it.
Well, put it this way, typically, Michael was right, and Paul has said that 90 days.
Well, yeah, well, that's the-
Historically, we saw them do an IGA for that library, lickety split. So if they want it done, for some reason, it can be done.
In
Where
one of the
it needs
meetings,
to
we
go.
never discussed it, as Paul said, it's a 90-day deal.
Yep, and that is,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I don't know.
text Brandon to ask him if he thought I needed it to add it to the agenda immediately after the meeting. And he said, not this one, but the next one, which he would have assumed was December, the IGA, so.
They have a reason.
I could be
for it.
misunderstanding though, so we won't, obviously we'll be in touch the next 2 months, none of us are gonna
Well,
live here and not
yeah,
speak to
you'll
each
know
other.
next month. then.
So we'll know if we put it back on, but we do need to put it back on our, we're gonna work on it in 2026 because we are going to eventually get that IGA, whether it's January or June. So that's it. They, a little bit seemed like they still are talking about the cottages down the back. I think previously we had discussed if we did do it all, we wanted businesses all the way down the back. So they didn't seem really opposed to that. They talked about the loft, so if it was like a restaurant with a loft over top, they liked that idea. Really, there was nothing they just absolutely said
Did
no
they mention
to.
anything about height in it? No more than 2 stories, 3, what, anything like that?
I think the current is no more than 2 stories and they want us to stick to that.
Yeah, it's 30 feet or it's 30 feet.
Why did, it wasn't there, I remember the last time we had a discussion, you were concerned about, they're going 3 to 5 and all that stuff, and I was like.
Yeah,
Two makes it complete.
Yeah.
But it's also, that's what we can put, like, hey, we don't like that. And that's the
Right.
beauty of us being in charge of it, it's like, hey, no. I think a real person who's gonna come in there is gonna know, it's one of those, they do this for a living, they should know better, and if they don't, we'll just cut it off.
So once we get the IGA, whatever month that is, then the next step will be us writing the RFP. Now, we have to write the RFP ourselves. Paul was at that meeting and said he would help us with that, so, I Googled how to write an RFP, didn't get very far, so, yeah. So then, basically, they just want exactly what we suggested, was the builders bring their ideas to us, and we filter through them, see what we like, what we don't like, and when we get one we like, and an offer we like, and a dollar amount we like, and an idea we like, then we bring it back before council, and they will agree to it, but they retain the property and all of that until any of that happens, which is typical of how it goes. They won't assign us the property until the closing table, I believe, like they sign it to us and we sign it to the new people. So,
The reason they do that is because the city maintains the insurance throughout on the property. And if they gave it to us, then we would have to start insuring it and put it in our budget.
yeah, we don't wanna do that, we broke. Alright, so that's 254 Main, so honestly, it made me feel a little bit like we might actually, be moving along on 254 Main now. Might have some ideas, and they were really open. Now, Melanie did say, I haven't spoken to her personally since the meeting, that she had 2 or 3 people already that were really interested in 254. Do you remember, Michael? But in the meeting, didn't she say 2 or 3 people were interested?
I didn't hear that. Now, she might have said it in the.
Don't watch the same.
The economic
I
development?
didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch the
No,
economic?
I watched the regular city.
Yeah, she has 2 or 3 people that she said are already interested, so hopefully they will immediately come our way once we do an RFP. I don't know who they are or what they wanna build, but she is aware that we wanted to do a, restaurant, or that's what most of the votes were for. So, alright, anything else you guys wanna discuss about 254 Main, other than we will be moving forward, it looks like, at some point?
So I guess
Alright.
my only question is, I know the answer to it, but I'll say it anyway, so we will have absolutely, you guys know, I stand very much against this cottage idea. I know that is what council wants, but seeing as how it's their property, at the end of the day, they're going to, I'm looking to you like they're going to, they have the final say, we have very little say, basically. Like, I'm just being honest.
We bring everything to them.
Well, I was gonna say, the way this is written, they throw it in there as an option, they didn't limit us by what we could develop or propose. So, if anything, what this will do, whatever proposal we bring to them, the thing I'm interested in seeing from the new city council is their vision, what they actually wanna do. That's what I'm looking for. So this helps us present to them hey, this is what we wanna see. We wanna see business development. We wanna see a walkable downtown. If y'all don't want that, if you want residential, then you're just putting a damper on the business activity that we're trying to cultivate.
Right.
And so
I'm with
what
you,
we would, so
100%.
we would be getting an answer from council as to really the direction they want to see this city go.
Right, so that, my question was
Yeah,
just, so
so I
if they're
think
like,
that opens
yeah,
up
no,
a
we
lot
really
of
want
doors.
these cottages.
Well, we're already at the point of the IGA for 254.
Yeah.
So just because they said we have that option and that we know that they want cottages, or we can go back and ask them, like, I don't mind going to the next work session and being like, hey, just so we're clear, is this absolutely what you guys want or not on the back half? But we don't even have to really talk about the back half unless the developer, comes and says it to us. We can still just focus on 254 and a business there if we wanted to. I don't know what the right thing is.
I say throw a hook in the water, see who bites on all of it or bites a piece. Who knows, we might actually have two different developers that come together with something we all really like, and we actually start something in downtown that really is on a positive footnote for the city and for a lot of the related businesses around. I think holding that other piece back is really, I mean, they're giving us two pieces of steak. We need to fry them up, serve them.
Sounds good to me. And also, if we did businesses all the way down and someone wanted them, they could do lofts on top too, which means
Yeah.
they got both.
Yeah.
All businesses and residential.
Yeah.
So basically, we just need to get the RFP hammered out and see who comes and will take that property. But sounds good if Melanie already knows 2 or 3 people who are really interested.
Mhm.
Let's hope that pans out and
Yeah.
we might be moving. All right, let's see what next. Christmas parade.
I got you.
Braxton would like to discuss that.
I'll just kind of present to you guys what I kind of talked to Tara about and kind of a vision I have. So, first off, the more I thought about this year, it's something I'm not trying to do this year. I'm just going to kind of shoot you my vision for next year. We'll table it till next, hopefully July, August, because it's something that I realize that's going to take a little bit of time to get better. Talked to Christy, so kind of a dream I've been having, and me and my wife talked about it a little bit, was the DDA putting on almost like a VIP Christmas parade section. Kind of what I anticipate this to be, and this is something that I can run with when it comes time next year. Again, I'm tabling it this year just because we were so close. Even after the last meeting, I tried to put together a few things, but it was just too quick. So Christy and me talked about the parade turning to end through Braxton's parking lot. I'm just using my parking lot. I don't get any of this money when we start talking these numbers. It's just going to be how we can do it. The VIP section will be $100, and it'll be for a family of up to 6. That includes parking, upfront parking, because we will be able to attain the old library parking lot completely and sectioned off where you have to show your ticket to park. It'll include bouncy houses for the kids that'll be located inside of our big building that they can play in and play outside, and the coffee shop that will be there. Everybody in the family will get one drink, coffee, hot chocolate, anything like that. It's completely sectioned off. It's completely sectioned off to anybody else. So the beauty of it is the kids are safe. You have concessions, you have everything, and you don't have to worry about your kids. They could be inside playing, and then when it comes time for the parade will end through our parking lot, and that's how everybody will be able to watch it.
How many families?
So I did the math. If we're trying to raise $5,000, again, minus very few expenses. The only expenses we would have would be renting a few bouncy houses, which are about $200 a piece. I had to look into I actually found a guy that rents out the city of Monroe. She did not have enough barricade. Christy did, so she's like, I would need you to rent your own. And then paying the coffee house, they're minimal, like a little bit of money for each coffee or hot chocolate. We can make about, again, if you did 50 families, that's $5,000 minus expenses. So it'd be a way we can make a few $1,000. And I think, again, the way we present it and promote it, I think families would jump all over it. Because it's more of the safety. You're not bumper to bumper and people on your back. You can sit there and watch it and have plenty of room.
I like it.
High top tables, bouncy houses. It'd be just a fun thing. But again, to do it right, I needed more time to get all my ducks in a row.
Well, 50 families at 6 people, that's what, 300, would they be that much room, three
There's
hundred?
plenty of room. Because again, I can also we could use both of our sides. I could do against your tire dock side and our side. We could, I did the math easily to fit and all that. Because again, I can section off from my section of Main Street too, all the way down the front of our store and turn into our parking lot all the way down the end. Between me and you, we have plenty of space to host that many families. I kind of did some math. But regardless, it was just an idea I kind of wanted.
I'm wondering if like this, we should include take your pic, kids get a picture with Santa.
Oh, for sure.
Santa.
I have a full-size sleigh inside the store I can bring down and just, I mean, there's so many things you can add to that.
Yep.
Again, I think people, again, doing math, you're $20 a person if you have 5. I think families would jump all over that. Again, it's fun, safe afternoon. Again, you kind of open it at
Yep.
whatever, 6 and
Yep.
the parade comes by at 8, but you can come and enjoy it and have
Yep.
some time before that.
I think it's a great idea.
No, I think it's great too. I think we should put it on for August, that way you have time to get everything
That's right.
ready and worked with
Yeah.
Christy and hammered out if there's any other.
And again, the numbers I'm just throwing out were just thoughts,
Right.
but again, I was kind of going through, because again, it's just, in a way, it's also you're promoting it as there is nothing that goes in anybody's pocket except back into your downtown development.
Right.
I think, again, I'll support that.
Yep.
And nothing's going in anybody's pocket. You're paying for bouncy houses, paying the coffee shop, whatever they need for their coffee, and then barricades.
Yep.
Everything else goes back into your community. I think you'll sell out with 50
Yep.
spots in minutes.
I mean, the parking alone is. a
I
huge-
think again, we can take whatever we want. The city will give it to us. So again, for me, even if we have to use your lot a little bit, because we could park some people in there,
Yep.
and then I would use the old library. At that point, it would probably be the old library. But again, the city will give it to us. Again, it's all money for the city. So
Exactly.
why? And again, it's for only benefiting the city. It's not going in anybody's pocket.
Yep.
So.
No, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea.
Because again, the 50 spots, that's really where I got the number 50 from, because you got one car per ticket. So you have 50 cars, so I think I walked over there and counted, I think there's almost 50 spots just in that old library parking. So we might be able to do a little bit more. I'll have to look and get exact numbers, and I will have them when we talk about it next August. But just a vision I had to raise some free money for us. It doesn't really cost us
No, I think
anything.
that's a great idea.
Yep, I like that a lot.
Great idea. Okay, so what I'm handing you guys, well, I put that down on what we're doing right now, Brax, for, I don't have enough of these for everyone though, because I, just don't know why they didn't print, but they didn't. I do have enough of those. Those were our goals for last year. And quite honestly, I read them and they were just like a bunch of words. Like, none of this is even like a workable plan, so it kind of feels like, no wonder we never got anything done, because it's just a bunch of assist and an accordance and prepare and like, I think we all, right, isn't it? Like when you're trying to read it, you're like, what were we gonna do?
What is this?
So I think we all agree, and I've talked to all of you guys pretty much a little bit separately, that we wanna actually make some things happen downtown. So I don't know if that list even really helps us at all, because, those are very fancy, list of things to do, and I think we can all agree that we're gonna collaborate with businesses to make a healthy business and residential use, a place to live, work, shop, and invest and play. I don't think that has to be like planned out. So I think we need to probably just focus on what action we're gonna take, and, we can go back and put the fancy language in it later for our websites and our posts and stuff like that. So, yeah, I guess, did anyone think of anything? Brax and I, got the tree contest thing out. Well, I got it to him yesterday, so it might not be out, but.
Very good.
And I've already put 2 of my trees up. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely coming hard for that, whatever.
It's Darren's thing.
I'll say one thing about that, and this is just gonna go as time progresses, and Loganville has we have a lot to continue to work on, and the reason I think 254 Main and anything we add to 254 Main is important. I was walking down to pass out those flyers on Main Street. I guess I didn't realize this. You have Braxton's, then you have a church, Nutrition, Flex Body, Tailgaters, Toasted Up, Pin Up, your 3 stores, that's it. So again, I passed out flyers to every one of those. Other side, the only 2 things on that side at this point is Brandon, going like the older buildings, Brandon and then Ember 90. So it's one of those things like we have to build we gotta have more buildings to have more of a downtown. And again, we're also talking about Main Street, and that's what the difference that we forget sometimes. Our overlay map is huge, but also we focus a lot on Main Street and not the whole DDA, and that's something that we as a group can probably do a little bit better as, including myself, because I think Main Street.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we could definitely do like Body by George and Patriots Garage, like, that's just a block walking over. That way, really, the health department, we could ask them.
And that's why I didn't know what we wanted, so I started on Main Street. Again, I passed out those few. But again, I need to go and continue to those other places. It's just, when we think downtown district, I think a lot of us just think Main Street, and we talked last meeting, and I think a few of us did outside. It's like, Loganville, no matter what, as much as we want to be one road, it's never gonna be. It's gonna be this entire map, and there's gonna be things built in between where the health department is, where different things are, because there's a lot of space that we can do things with as we progress over the next few years between Main Street and C.S. Floyd that we don't. But again, Loganville is never going to be, until they ever regain sole possession of Main Street, which they sold to the DOT years ago. You're going to have to take Main Street and go the other way. That's all I keep saying. It's going to be blocks. It's not going to be a road.
Right.
We don't have the luxury of Monroe where they built a huge bypass and no trucks are allowed downtown. That's not, I would almost say that's never gonna happen. Because we don't have the land for it. So it's one of those, we gotta take what we can. And sometimes put Main Street a little bit behind us and say, hey, how can we develop these blocks and not just one road?
Yeah, I think we need to do the whole Main Street, or the whole downtown overlay on everything.
On everything we do.
So I think every conversation going forward, we should just assume we're all talking about every bit of it. That way, no one gets left out.
I agree, and that's my fault sometimes for not including all that, but it is a very important part, and it's gonna be the main part of what we end up doing with this thing.
And also, we can let businesses outside of the overlay sponsor a tree too. You know what I mean? If they wanted to bring one to Main Street or somewhere in the overlay and put a tree and be a part of the contest. Because.
And that's what the contest we kind of threw together last time so quickly. Next year we might even figure out a way where we could do like an area that's actually set up where you actually have a set, almost like Loganville Fest, but everybody has a block where they actually set up a tree outside, and then multiple businesses decorate trees, and you just hope they don't get vandalized or something. But you could try.
Honestly, my main objective with this is to be like, hey, we have a new DDA and look at all this, look at the change. That's why, I mean, y'all are gonna be impressed by my full-size Santa and reindeer on.
So
we're gonna make sure they know, like, we are actually doing something, and sometimes it's just looking cute for these downtown districts is all people need to feel a little bit better, like, okay, something's actually happening. I mean, look at Brandon's mural on the side of the building he owns, like, people went crazy over that. Just 'cause it was not a rundown, rusty old piece of tin anymore, and, you know, it might not even be the greatest mural in the world, but it was finally something. And I think that just Christmas decoration, and since I've been there, I really did up Christmas, like, pretty well, and I get so many people stop and thank me, and oh my gosh, like, we haven't had anything, like, you know. So I think that if we get everybody in that area and around that area on board, at least we can say, and we put those signs on the trees, kind of market ourselves like, hey, the DDA is doing something besides typing long lists of goals and objectives. Okay, so we're good with that. Next year, one thing we talked about was downtown identity and placemaking. I don't really know what to do with that. I mean, they put that big sign in the middle of 254 Main, and obviously when we sell that, that sign will come up. So we could put it on one side of Main or the other, or even down, you know, near the toddler park somewhere, something.
That's not a bad idea.
Another crazy question, I'm just gonna throw it out there. We've talked about this, I don't know, is the other side of the library gonna be big enough to, if we ever wanna move Town Green and put more businesses? I know they brought it up one time about letting us have where Town Green is now for more businesses.
So the other side of the library being like the flat land?
Yes. Is there gonna, I guess it's gonna be a question one
I think that
day.
was the original plan, and then they stopped and that we don't need a bigger town green yet.
I'm more thinking about location and accessibility of good land that we can, again, what I was saying, even walking down actual Main Street, you have
See, that's,
7 businesses that are open, that are actually open.
well, if you, see, my thing, you're bringing up a good point, which is, leads up to what I'm thinking about, when you talk about goals. We need to see what the vision is from this new council. And the way we as, and how we as the DDA will be incorporated in or be a part of this development, this rezoning that's going on. And one of the things I wanted to see by doing is getting a list of all the properties they have, asking for an IGA on all of it, and then submitting it to the city council so that they could give us a clear vision. There's the possibility, like you say, a green space next to the library, making that a park. In my opinion, I don't think that's a good idea. It's just another hole in Main Street's business activity. But if that's what the council wants, if they want to sell City Hall and put a bunch of business down at the very end of Main Street, and that's where all the business activity is gonna be, then at least we'll know what they wanna do going forward. And if we have that list of properties, just like the green space Brax is talking about right here, what do they actually wanna do? And if we know all that, then we'll also be able to play a role with this new rezone that's going on too, because that'll sort of move us all in one direction, and we'll actually, as a city, the developer, and the DDA, actually be moving in one direction instead of sitting in neutral. And so that's kind of the long game that I see from all of that, because Brax brings a good point up. What is gonna be done with the town green? Well, if there's some reimagined idea for City Hall and moving it down to that corner and then making business there, well, we need to find out what the vision is, because look at how this IGA has been crafted. We ask for an IGA on the property, we give it to the city council, they tell us what they want. Why don't we find out what they want for all of it? Why don't we find out? I imagine Brandon has an idea of what he wants to see. And when you bring up these possibilities, open up the floor for debate and find out where we're actually gonna go, because right now, where we're at, we just now put this thing in first gear. I'd like to see it go second. I'd like to see it go third. And Brax brings up good points on how to get there.
I think that one thing, I'm probably gonna say the exact same thing you did differently, is especially a problem in the past DDA and LDA, is there is not full communication between the city council and us. And I know we can't be more than 4 of us, and there can't be more than 4 like all of these rules, but there's gotta be a way that we can all sit down together, or even it's like some way that we can sit down and talk, because I think that is a bit of a roadblock, because we have to go back and forth, kind of being like, what's your vision?
Yeah.
If maybe there was a way we could all sit down like this and kind of be like, hey, let's just talk about all the property today that the city owns. Let's go one by one and get what your ideas for the future are. Because in the past, it was really just Dana talking to the city. Now, they do copy us all on all the emails now, but you know, these aren't conversations I feel like we can effectively have through email.
Well, the only way we're being able to engage any kind of vision at this time is based on what we've seen so far with this IGA to 254. We ask for 254, they go to the council tell us what they want, they approve or they disapprove. If this is the only way we can get a group answer from the council, then we need to ask for it on a lot of other properties. I mean, I like your idea of everybody getting together, but
Well, I
like
think
I said,
that's
it's gonna
supposed to
a challenge.
be part of the role of the liaison. I think that's one of the reasons that they assigned the liaison, is to serve as the communicado between both parties.
You know, maybe that's it. Maybe we didn't use the RP liaison. But I do think, along with finding out what the properties are, which I'm gonna put that on a long-term goal, find out plan and vision for all properties, is also develop a way to communicate with the city. Because one thing Paul did say during the economic meeting, when they were talking about it, or no, maybe he said it because Patty was there when they said this, is that every successful DDA has a really good working relationship with the city. And I just don't think we're there yet, but I don't think it's anyone necessarily like refusing. It's just we don't know, we haven't figured out like how to mesh that. Like who, yeah, like
Yeah.
Do we all ask Danny? Do we go to Christie? Do we go, you know what I mean? We need to kind of figure out a way to communicate with the council and with everybody at the city so that we can be successful. So we're not really, you know, there may be a way that we don't know, just we can call someone up and be like, hey, give me a list of the properties. We might not have to go through all the, you know, stuff and then get it and come to them with a plan. So I do think that should be part of the goal, along with finding out the properties and.
Well, and I think we also exploring our role with this group of developers or rezoning, finding out what role we'll play in that, those rezones that they come up with, that's gonna be something we could look at too.
Yeah, I think that even falls under the communication, because you would think we would be a pretty large part of that, at least for the Main Street overlay portion. Okay, so where were we? Oh, the signage part. Public art, so when we did our budget, we got the $25,000, we wanted it for training, travel, I don't know where we were traveling, memberships, downtown business owner event, morning mingle, Main Street revitalization projects,
Did the checkbook ever get done?
downtown, the three of us have to go together, downtown business startup grants and grant writer. So, like I said, the signage seems like we did the flags, we did the trash cans, we've got that giant sign that the city put at 254. So I think that might, but maybe public art or murals or things like that. Those are the things that really bring people downtown other than businesses. A lighting plan, I think would be great, especially in the alleyway between the two buildings where the gym is. There's an alley that's really honestly big enough. You could put like some little pocket cafe tables and stuff in there. So I think that would be
We're about to do our alley. The one between me and the other building. Down there, the one alley behind my auction place. We're actually about to rebuild that whole deck, paint a big mural, and light that whole alley.
Yeah, so
It's gonna be pretty.
that kind of stuff, yeah, I think that we could, you know,
Just things. Pretty much what you're gonna ask, we have to do other things besides, you only can control what's in your possession. And right now,
and
we don't
no
control.
DDA is just like a real estate tycoon,
No.
just selling and, you know, they do that when they have to, but they are also, you know, involved.
Other ways.
DDA throws all their events and things like that, which the city of Loganville's lucky because we have Christy and she does a lot of that stuff, but, you know, that would be a way that we can also get money into our account, that we could do more with the real estate and the stuff like that, so. How are we feeling about that? Anyone got any downtown development ideas? Y'all are quiet, y'all just wanna be real estate people. You're like, you throw the
We
party.
need more than, how much
Well,
money do you
yeah,
have?
right.
20,000?
No. Okay, so the next would be business support and recruitment. So basically, we want downtown to be an easy place to move to start a business if you want to. I guess we're getting to the brass tacks, it's not easy right now.
There's no way.
I've started a few businesses there, and it's quite difficult. I have one that is
There's nowhere to go.
ready to go, and it is not, it's not happening. So.
Is it not, is it not happening because of other reasons? Or your reasons?
No, it's not happening because someone, I don't want to say on the record, but someone
Okay.
has me on hold before I can continue, even though.
I think Ironetta would probably say that same thing.
Huh?
I said, I guarantee Ironetta would say that same thing.
Yes, so, yes.
By the way, she said to say hi to all of us. I saw her today, she's doing a tree, but she just wanted to say hello to you, all of us.
So what we put in the past was a new business welcome kit, which I think is a great idea. Quarterly business owner meetups, like coffee with the DDA type of thing.
I think that's very important going forward, at least once a year, because I think we would gain a lot of information from that.
Yeah, I think.
If we can get them.
I think if we did a quarterly with this list of people, even though this list is obviously old,
Yeah.
it's missing a few things on it, But if we just invited these people that are in our overlay once a quarter, just to hang out and, hey, what do you guys, like, they may have great ideas for downtown that we aren't even thinking about because we're in our own little world.
And you invite, most likely you'll invite the owner who's on here, whoever owns that enterprise or company, because half these people don't own their building. Like, I would invite, you own yours, right?
I own one of my.
Okay, but like, I would invite you and your landlord probably. Landlord most likely won't show up, but you care.
Yeah,
They
this
want-
lists the business and the owner.
Okay.
So if they're different, I mean, if they're the same, they'll get 2 invitations,
Okay.
but if they're different.
I see what you're saying.
And we'll have to find the contact information. The other one is like a business directory, like that could be handed out or kind of kept on, like here are the businesses downtown do business. Monroe has a huge focus on shop local. I don't know if you guys follow their pages, but they hugely focus on like come out and support these businesses, and I think ours can too. Monroe also has this downtown dollars program. I don't think we're there for that one yet, so.
You know, with the ideas for downtown and stuff like that, I wonder if there's any way to turn it into kind of like a contest, you know, to get people a little bit more involved and wanting to bring it up, to have some kind of donated prize where, hey, if you come up with this idea and it ends up being used, you get yada yada, A, B, C, D.
Love it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Putting it down. Yeah, that's great. And then one thing I had on my list was to partner with like either school, like some of the businesses, or we can partner with schools for like junior entrepreneurs or kids. I started the junior market this year alongside all the city events, and it is crazy the amount, like completely changed my business because parents are always gonna come for their kids, you know, to do things like that, and I only have room for 15 kids, and I get asked probably 60 people. I'm like, hey, can my kid, you know, if there's a way we could get the kids downtown to do something, I think that might be a way we could develop, you know, something, because that kid entrepreneur program is, I can't even keep up with it. Like, I'm just like, sorry, we have all the kids we need. So I don't know if there is something we could do for that, but maybe a way to, you know, market to families to at least get them down there. And, you know, most of our, or all of our businesses are family-owned businesses, so I don't know if there's a way we could do that. Then we did beautification and infrastructure. I guess the city does the flowers, right? I don't do my own flowers. I don't know who does it though.
Probably. You have a lot of reasons to thank Christy, by the way. She covers, I think, a lot of people's tails, because I think it would usually be on us.
Okay, I don't have planners, but I just noticed that the flowers get changed. So, I don't know, we could work with, like, I know the owner of the Growers Outlet really well. She might be able to sponsor something for us, or, you know, something like that.
I got a task I'll take on if it's fine with you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tall task, and it'll take me probably a few meetings. I'm gonna get contacts and make a spreadsheet for every one of those landlords and go see every one of those businesses and get a number of somebody who we can actually text and communicate with.
No, yeah.
Because I think we gotta have that to start our
And
next
then we
thing.
can start launching like our
Yeah.
newsletters and getting them to them and having them.
So
be
I will
involved.
let you go and meet with, pretty much they'll be able to tell me at least their landlord's name and number. So
Yeah.
I'll go get that in the next few weeks, just go take a walk. But that'll be my job, because we need all that in a spreadsheet where we can contact any of those people at one point.
Right.
Gotta have relationships with those people before we can ask them to do anything, so.
And one thing I saw, I think it was in Columbus. Isn't that where the one that's near the Alabama line?
I'm not sure what Columbus is.
Columbus is right on the Alabama line.
Yeah, so they did like a before and after like photo campaign, so every time a new business came, like they took it before and kind of just to show their progress. I think in Loganville, especially with the online community, showing progress for what we're actually doing will help us get support and get financial aid and all those things we might need.
Well, you could start with your buildings, I guarantee you, before and after. Mine, you're coming to the coffee shop, I can do one of that. I agree, we should gotta start using that Facebook page.
Yeah.
And we all have access to it.
Especially because, just as a side note, I've seen a bunch of posts about complaining about downtown, like, oh, the building's ugly, like, here, I actually have a picture of that building before, so I often am like, are you talking about this building? Like, this is what you want back? So I think you have to kind of remind people, like,
Right.
I've only been there 4 years, and it was junk when I got there, my mom.
You got it better than what it was.
Yeah, she was like, do not do this, and I did it, and it made a difference,
And
but.
execute something.
Yeah, it did take a lot of people, a lot of effort, so. All right, so next events, me and Joanne are down for the events.
Yes.
I wanna go ahead and say, I think that's a great way to earn money. I think that adults especially are looking for ways to like get out and do stuff with other people. We can see from, what's it called? The party we have every month. Jamming, the music.
Oh, like
Grooving on the green. Yeah. Is that people do wanna get out in the
Oh,
community
yeah,
with
for
each
sure.
other and do things, and I think we can take advantage of that. And I think there's so much room, cause look how much, like Monroe has an event every weekend, I can't even keep up with
I
that.
can't see it, let me see it.
Like they do, they're like, oh, it's flower day, we just come out and everyone
Yep.
gets free flowers and
Yep.
make flower art and sell flower, like they do a really good job, so.
Yeah.
I think events would be something I personally would love to ramp up, maybe while the rest of y'all are ramping up 254, I'll do the events. Economic development, a master plan of where we want retail, dining, mixed use, that goes back to Terry's, assertion that we really need to know what their vision is, what their plan is, even what land they own, because we don't know, and what we're allowed to do with it. Infill facade and improvement strategy, that's basically just filling the empty buildings, but I don't know, and I also don't know how to nicely say this, but when helpful businesses move out, I think it would be really helpful if we had a list of people waiting to get into that
Yeah.
building before someone who cannot help the downtown district moves in again, which is happening quite a bit.
Yeah, but you can't restrict the property owner from doing it.
But again, it's just more
You
the.
can restrict the property owners, well, we can't, but city council can. We could go to them, but I just really don't know what it would look like to say, like, hey.
But again, my thought is, you have these people's names and numbers, and as that relationship builds, hey Brax, my tenant's coming up and he's gonna be out at the end of this year.
Yep.
Can you start trying to find me somebody else? We gotta get to that point, we have that relationship with mainly those landlords saying, hey, come see us first. Just don't go out on your own, because we have people who wanna benefit this town and will give you the leases you need. Again, that's why we gotta get
We'll
names,
find
numbers,
you
and
something.
we'll find it.
Yeah.
That's part of our job.
What was it that was done? I cannot recall what was coming up, but I remember, I don't want to say it was like a contest, but I remember people were reaching out. I remember it was Melanie Wong saying she had somebody that was wanting to start a little bakery, and something happened that prompted this phone call started coming in. Do you guys not remember this?
There was some.
And it was like the
there
goal was
an open
exactly what Brax.
building. Yeah, there was an open building, and I think it was the sisters.
Those are sisters.
And the sisters said to Brax, Brandon, and Melanie separately, we will rent to someone, but we can't find someone who will meet these parameters except these people who we're renting
Okay.
to. So if someone else will come, but I'm not really sure. I think some of the stuff fell through. I'm pretty sure.
I think
the
it all
bakery
fell through, but I think it kind of speaks to what Brax is saying, that if there were these relationships and, we're able to say, something's gonna become available, and not that we're restricting anybody
No.
necessarily, but maybe people that want to do business here kind of get a first crack at it.
Yep, I agree. And again, it's one of those the sisters have been really good, and Melanie's really good friends with them, and I've known them for years, and they've got Amber and Ivy, which I think that building looks 1 billion times better than what it did. I promise you, I walked in that building, and I was like, oh my gosh.
From the outside, I'm like.
And yeah, they have churches in both of them, but again, it's one of those things, they make it look nice, it's presentable for now, and it's one day where if one of those places move on, they now have the relationship with Melanie and Brandon
Yep.
and say, hey, they're willing to do things, but they're not gonna kick somebody out who's paying them bills.
Right.
But they
as
definitely have
opportunity
started to
comes,
listen
yeah.
and actually put better place, and that is their building for rent next to the, next to the Ember and Ivy. And they're waiting for somebody to go on that one, I believe.
Yeah, I thought somebody had already rented it back then.
I thought a bookstore rented it and was renovating it.
It might be, but they're still up for rent sign on the building.
Oh, is
But
that?
I'm
It was
pretty,
put up the other day.
I'm about to say, I walked by today. I put a flyer through the door.
Maybe the bookstore didn't, yeah.
Nobody's done any work. in it.
No, it's empty. I stuck my
Okay, well, that might be something we can start with, is helping them, you know, get that. We might not be ready for that, but heck, we can ask around. Map all vacant and underused properties, we really need to know what property is available in our, not just what the city owns, but all open properties, so we can kind of help with that. Build partnerships with developers and local banks. We do have access to the Georgia, Main Street program loans and things like that. You've learned a little bit about them in your training, and I have some other training that I took on it, so we can dig deeper in that. If someone wanted to buy a building downtown, or if they own a building and want to develop it into something else, you might want to look into it for your sister's thing, but she can get a loan through them that is like, yeah, I just couldn't do it, but I almost did it. My landlord at the time that I was buying from, she wouldn't meet all the parameters, but it is a great program if you need to do like a whole bunch of stuff, but,
And I think.
and then grants, we've talked about grants over and over again, and some people kind of push us away from grants. There are no grants, but I just don't believe that's true, and there's so many people outside of just like 501c3s who grant money to, especially to Main Street programs in downtowns, that I just think we should keep pursuing that, because not only is it free money for us, but it's free money for business owners we can help them get so they can have them, and also the residential places within our main, our overlay. Like Ms. Joyce, who's here, we've talked about, you know, getting her grant for her house, getting it painted and things like that. I think that's still a really big opportunity that we're missing in lots of DDAs, not really the ones around us, and I think we base everything on like Monroe and the ones we know. But if you look a little further out, you'll see huge amounts of grants being helped through DDA.
I always thought the grant was a great idea.
Yeah, I think it is too.
It was out of the box, it was worth a shot.
And now if you see, all the time, the city's announcing since they went with a grant writer, like I've seen 3 times, I think the police have gotten a grant. Someone, 2 or 3 people have gotten grants from the city in the past 2 months or so it worked out for them. All right, the marketing, storytelling, and engagement, we just have to, you know, obviously like we sell our businesses, we're gonna have to sell the DDA. Like, hey, here's what we're doing, here's what we can do for you, here's who we are, like that kind of hometown local feel. That will get people, you know, kind of buying into what we're doing and not always criticizing it and not always mad, and kind of trust us a little bit when we do start taking control of these properties and things like that, that we are also citizens and business owners and we do want the right thing for these places. So I think that should be on our goals. And then organization and capacity building, just basically filling out like what each of our roles is going to be, you know, who does what, who, you know, who focuses on what. I think all of us focusing on everything is just a bad plan. I think all of us have what we're better at and what we're not so great at, and I think if we kind of divide that up into what we can get accomplished, we will get. This year will end up being a extremely successful year in all the avenues, because we actually were able to do something instead of just sit around talking about how we'd rather do something else.
I agree.
We can also get involved with schools, the Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary, the current Rotary. You know, we need to get to know the city people. Again, the rules of us, all of us being in rooms and things like that together, we gotta figure those out, but we need to know, like, at the city, who we talk to about anything we need to talk to and how we can do it when we can. Brax, you're handling the property owners.
I got it.
And the last thing on our list was, before December ended, we wanted a final clarification on the property real estate expectation from the city council. So I think, especially since this is our last meeting, that I will just draft an email that kind of says what Terry says and says, hey, you know, we plan on pursuing all sorts of real estate avenues, so could you provide us a list and what your ideas are for what's going on? I don't know, should I wait till January when Wes and Keith are in there? Or
Probably.
send that email
No,
now?
I think-
No, I would wait till June.
Wait, okay.
I think we're all gonna be surprised. I think I'm very looking forward to what's to come from the city. You have a lot of pro-business people, and I think you're gonna see a little bit of a change, hopefully, because again, that's what, at the end of the day, the reason, like, agree or not agree with the library, agree with, new buildings get people excited and it draws business. If nothing is being built or done, it's the same stagnant thing that's gonna happen. The library, tacos and beer finally opening, 254 Main, and it's a domino effect, and then it's like, oh wow, we have people that are actually trying to get into our city. We need more places. Well, here, let's build some more buildings. It's just it's a simple domino effect that's been stagnant for, Lord knows, 30 years.
Well, I think-
It's
well, I
been the
think
same
that's-
thing.
Well, I
That's-
think,
I think
look what
that's-
happened, we got into the housing, and so suddenly we've got all these high density things waiting to come up out of the ground. We've got developers in here constantly wanting to do more housing. So if we can turn the tide towards the businesses, I think the same could be true.
Well, I think that's where, what I've come back around to is that with this new council and their vision that they have, we can blend all this together, and like Braxton's saying, that domino effect to start rolling. And this is, to me, this is just like the first little domino right now.
Yeah.
There's a Facebook page that I follow that I would suggest you guys follow. It's called Revitalize or Die, and it is just about like revitalizing towns that kind of have become stagnant. But you will see there that their biggest goal, they said all of it comes after you build a community. So once you get people, you know, to feel like they want to be a part of it, then the businesses want to be there.
Yeah.
Then you know what I mean?
We have to start there.
Yeah, so we really do need a rounded events, real estate, market. We need to focus on all of it, and I think that's a big part of splitting off into like what our things are, is because they might not really be interested in what's going on at 254 Main, but they really want to be a part of the VIP parade thing.
Yep.
And then once they're a part of that, then they're like, oh, what? Yeah, the guy who did that is also doing 254 Main, and he did really well at that. Let's go do that. That kind of thing, just getting all that stuff connected and building a community, especially a community that's obviously been severely divided because of the development and stuff that's happened since whatever happened. I wasn't part of it.
The good old days.
The good old
This
days.
is Like the
So-
Wild West down there.
All right, so the last thing is we just have this 25K, and we just, you know, if they gave it to us, if we have any plans for it, you know, if you guys think there's something we specifically need to spend it on, or just kind of say we have it there to meet these goals of development and stuff like that.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think as next year progresses, we'll have
Yep.
reasons that we actually
Yep.
say, hey, we need some money for something.
Yep.
Right, I think that's the
We need
best.
some money for something already.
Yeah. And we always have the,
Refunds on our DDA 101 classes.
Oh.
I'm sure, I
That's
didn't
an
have
expenditure
breakfast
we
this
can
morning.
do.
Is that $50? Is that my?
You know, I'm telling you, I'm hanging on the edge over here on that $50 now.
and there's not.
Christmas is
even-
coming.
He didn't
My
have
credit
his
card is
SNAP
growing
benefits
interest.
Either, he didn't have his SNAP or his $50. You guys come eat at my house.
20
Shut down hurt me.
At 21.5%, killing me. You owe me 62 now.
All right,
We're gonna pray for you,
so
Terry.
I'll combine all of this stuff into like a list of goals and ideas for 2026, so I can bring to the next meeting. I'll send it to you in email so you guys can say, no, that's not a goal, or you forgot this. And then we will see each other on January 3rd, unless you guys have anything else we gotta do. So public comment.
15.
Yeah, I'm like, go back to the third one.
Oh, I put third,
I meant third
Thursday, not the third Thursday. All right, public comment. We got 3 whole commenters
Come
available.
on, Lee.
How do we show up the YouTube comment thing? I don't know why we don't go with that. Let me ask you.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Lee.
I guess I got to turn the mic on.
What's your name, sir?
Even address.
Testing.
There you go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lee Phillips. I live at 4421 Pecan Street, and I want to talk to y'all about 254 Main Street. So, going back to high school, one of the things that I learned was in life you have to set goals. You have to set short-term goals and long-term goals. And your short-term goals have to work towards your long-term goal. Well, to have a long-term goal, you have to have an idea. You have to have a concept that you are pushing for. Loganville has no concept. We are struggling to find our identity. Most folks want our identity to be left in the past because of the comfort feeling of the looks of the town. That is what they moved here for. It's what a lot of people moved to Loganville for. So we gotta have a concept. All the talking about doing things is fine. But if you don't have a long-term concept for that long-term goal, all the short-term stuff ain't gonna get you nowhere. I'm gonna push my idea once again that I've spoken to a few people about. And the name of my idea is Underground Loganville. And we have the perfect opportunity to do something really spectacular for our town. The elevation between Pecan Street and Covington Street is such that we can, off of Pecan Street, have underground businesses that are underground from Pecan Street but are at street level from Covington Street. Now, for this plan to work properly, it requires a block reconstruction. It takes the whole property from Main Street to Bobby Boss, from Pecan Street to Covington Street. My concept, it can be started at 254 without the lower part at Covington. You can design upper structures with the basement structures in, with access for future access from Covington Street. But you really need that property that's right there across from the library where the old house is right there. That seems to only get worked on whenever he gets a flyer on his door down there saying that it's gonna be condemned. So I'm sure y'all are all aware of that. But in any case, we need all of those lots down through there for this to work, because on that lower section, we need to create a walking path, which we could utilize the retention pond area for a walking path, dog park. That property down there is not a delinquent property now just because it is a retention pond or whatever. Foundations can be raised on piers. It can have a structure built over it. Our city is responsible for the codes and things that allow that to happen. If they like the concept and the overall picture of what it can involve, then they can do what's necessary to make these things happen. And so, if you're standing in front of Waynehurst's looking at 254, say you're standing there and what you're looking at is a street side building that has 3 businesses on the front side. On top of it, you have a roof type bar and food business up there, which gives you access for people to sit and enjoy the concerts that happen on the green. They're right there. The sound is tremendous, trust me. I know the sound is real good right there from just being on our front steps and listening to the concerts. But the past year I've been videoing them, so I'm right there up front. But behind those businesses right there on that main lot where the sitting park is right now, you get into the parking area. Well, the parking area as it is a disaster. It is no good for any business to have a parking area that is like that.
if you take that parking area to the end of the gravel lot where the grass starts, where the drain runs down to Covington Street, you take that and you put a parking deck, because remember, you got businesses on the basement side that are gonna be accessed from Covington Street. You have a parking deck that is 2 stories right there. The facade, even though this parking deck is facing my house, and most folks would say, no, that's an eyesore, I wouldn't want a parking deck in front of the house. But remember, facades are just that. They can be made to look like anything. You can build the structure and make the face of it look however you want it to look pleasing to the eye.
Well,
You can still do the cottages in the tree area, saving the trees, keeping the citizens that love our trees happy, and you could still do the small cottages that are built to resemble the old historic homes that are on the south side of Pecan Street there. And there's ways to do things that can benefit our town. This would be a big step forward. Now, I don't know how the property that's there with the barber shop and all, I'm pretty sure that the owner of that property is gonna hold on to that until their end. But I think that there could be something said for having a conversation that if given an overall plan, if you had that property to also incorporate underground businesses that are tied to the 254 underground businesses, and you have an L shape like this right here with walking access straight over to the library. It all connects to the library, to the downtown walk around field that everybody's wanting and everything. I know it's expensive, but if you want to move the town forward, you have to look past the money, because everything in life is always going to be expensive. There's always going to be somebody that says, well, that costs too
I
much.
mean, that's the whole thing, Lee. It always will come back to the money.
Yeah.
And it's like, if there's not a developer that wants to
If
do
you
it.
had an idea, this concept, who's the only other town that has an underground? Atlanta.
well, you talk about that parking deck. That goes all the way back to Sizemore. When I sat down at that first Clatch interview with the lady, and I drew a picture of downtown, and I said, let's put a big parking deck right over here in this corner, that spot you're talking about. Oh, well, let's don't go that far.
You drive through, you go to Snellville, and where they put up all them new buildings and everything, you take a shortcut up by the old Ryan Steakhouse there, and you go down, they've got a parking deck. They've got apartments over it and everything. You would never know it's a parking deck unless you're sitting right there in front of the entrance and you see the sign that says public parking.
Yeah, behind those 6-story buildings.
You would never know there's a parking deck there. You can do the facades however you want to be comfortable to their environment, but still reap the benefits of having 2 levels of downtown parking and businesses underneath.
You're
The
seeing
revenue
seeing
that
fire, man.
254 could produce, even though you're losing the upper part of that area for parking, you're gaining businesses underneath that are gonna be producing revenue.
The one thing for sure I want to say that I think we all are shaking our head in agreement of is the vision that we have to have a long-term goal and there's short steps to get there. I won't say anything with that. I think we all fully agree on that, and that's where I think this board is going. As far as just businesses, no matter what, it's going to be steps to draw one business at a time and one building at a time. Right now we have 254. We're talking about a lot of other things. I'm never saying it's off the table. I will say, because we talk parking decks, and just because me and Brandon have talked about this over and over and over again, but she said at the end of the day, no matter what, things are going to come back to cost. As much as you hate it. Now again, once the city grows and you have more revenue coming in and stuff like that, that's when you'll have that money. But the average cost per spot to build a parking deck is almost $20,000 per spot. So until you have enough generating revenue, it's $100 per square foot, and each parking spot is 162 square feet. That's $16,200. So until you have enough business to get the city back $16,200 per car over the lifelong of that deck, that's why, I mean, at the end of the day, me and my wife were actually talking about money the other day and just how sad it is that the world revolves around it, but it is. And that's, at the end of the day, no matter what you want to say, unless you win that lottery and we want to sink $20 million into Loganville, it's going to come back down to money. And we have to do what we're gifted and we have the ability to handle as a DDA, as the city of Loganville. I'm not even on that board. It all comes back to money. So as much as I love the idea, and I'm never saying never, you're still talking just in concrete, you're talking millions and millions of dollars that I don't think the city is ready to invest in anything.
Yeah, but the best thing about those deck structures is that they allow for large open spaces for businesses to be built in. And that's why that would be so beneficial to having the businesses underneath, because the structure would allow that. And having the businesses, you're creating revenue that is gonna pay for that deck that is servicing those businesses.
And I think at the end of the day, it's more gonna be to what gets people just in general to downtown. Because I can tell you right now, business owner, 3 places right now, we struggle to get them just downtown. And again, if they're underground, what makes them gonna go into there before they even walk into her place? We have a long way to go.
Digital creation where I could take what I see in my mind and put it into a video, people would see it and they would say, you know what? I like that. That's something I could get involved in. If they could see it and see what it would look like with the parking deck, the underground businesses, the access walking straight, if they could see a visual, I'm telling you, if people could see the visual.
I mean, because this is gonna be the type of thing, like Braxton's saying, if this is gonna be something that happens, it's gonna be like Connolly era again. Somebody with deep pockets that comes in and wants to do it. So the best way to get out there is do exactly that. Get somebody to help you put, I don't know how to do it, but you put together some kind of little video, let it hit social media, and it could catch on.
I wish I knew how to clip pictures and paste them and.
And the biggest thing, no matter what, and it's a catch-22, you will have with those two. Yeah, you're good. With that, no matter what, you're gonna have housing. You're gonna have as high density housing. So the only people that are gonna be able to afford something like that are gonna have housing, and you're gonna have to vote on, okay, you want an extra 500, 600, 2,000.
You could do the businesses in the basement, just have the one level of parking and have apartments on the second floor.
I mean, that's an idea. We would say open, that's probably more for the city, because we have $20,000.
I think,
They have
really,
20
to
million.
be honest with
So
you.
you might wanna
To be
ask
honest
them.
with you, I think where you need to present this idea is not here, but when remember now, the city's just engaging this group of people to do the rezoning and what they want to do, their vision for the city, that's where that kind of information needs to come. And they're gonna have group meetings where the citizens are gonna be involved in that vision.
Well,
That's
maybe
where you
Brandon
talk
will
to them.
take up some of these ideas, that I have, because I did a complete walk around, me and him, at the beginning of the summer. We did a walk around town where I discussed and laid out my whole, concept, and there was a lot more that went with it that involved the green where it's at and extra seating, utilizing the areas above the road for a black rail type.
Well, you remember at that city
Gentlemen.
council meeting when they did that
Gentlemen.
presentation?
Terry,
That-
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I need to go so we could adjourn the meeting, not to be rudely.
Now, I've had more than my 5 minutes of time, so I do
You know we
appreciate
love
y'all
you, Lisa, but I
listening,
got
so, but, you know, I just wanted to throw it out again. We have to have a long-term concept plan. Without it, all the short plans are just hoping that this is.
Long-term plans come from the city council.
Yeah, we can plant all the seeds, but you know, if you just plant them as you're walking along, you're gonna have to harvest from a whole bunch of different areas, so you gotta plant your seeds in a garden, and that way it's all together when you get ready. to
Right now,
harvest.
we were given the vegetable garden, and we're gonna throw some seeds in it.
Y'all have a blessed day.
My business concepts.
So we need to have, anybody else?
Oh, does anybody else have any?
Is there any other public comment? Anybody want to come up?
Okay, motion to adjourn, someone.
I make a motion.
to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, aye. All right, guys.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yay. See you next year. I hope I see most of you.
All right, everybody, we're going to close it out here. That's the end of the meeting. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all remember, be safe out there, be good to one another, do something kind for someone, and y'all have a blessed day.